How's everyone doing? This is going to be my top 5 favorite slasher movies. Let me know what you think of my list, and let me know what your top 5 favorite slasher movies are. Leave me those comments down below. And I think this list is going to be a little bit different than most people's list that would include, the big slasher franchises like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Phantasm, ones like that. So I think those movies are great. Some of my all-time favorites as well, but these would be my personal top 5 favorite slasher movies. But now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list. Let's check it out. At the number 5 spot is Just Before Dawn. This is the prototypical backwoods slasher movie. Brad Fiedel's score, and especially like that theme track, is so haunting to me. I love this one. It's about a group of campers that don't listen to the park ranger and the warnings, which is, a trope, but you can kind of tell what's going to happen from there. They're stalked and picked off one by one. But I love the reveal here. I love the climax. It's so awesome and memorable. And a really good cast here, too. You've got Greg Henry and George Kennedy. But the one actress for me really was amazing to me. Jamie Rose. Loved her character. And this is directed by Jeff Lieberman, who directed Squirm and Satan's Little Helper, which I love both of those movies, too. And this was somewhat inspired by Deliverance, and you can kind of get some of the feel there for that. It's moody, it's atmospheric, the cinematography really works well here, and just a really creepy one that will stay with you long after viewing. But this is just an all-time classic, and definitely influential to other backwoods slasher movies. And at the number 4 spot is Wes Craven's classic, The Hills Have Eyes, one of my favorite 70s horror movies. In fact, all of these ones are from 70s and early 80s. I think the latest one is 1982. So a lot of earlier slasher movies here, but this is a classic, and it's about a family that their car breaks down in the middle of the desert, and these inbred cannibals essentially come and terrorize them, and they have to fight to survive. One of the things that I really like about this one compared to the remake, which I think is incredible, the remake has great gore, but for me, I like the characters better here. Even Michael Berryman right here, who's just iconic in that role, Pluto, and then Dee Wallace, and then some of the other actors who weren't as well known really shine too. And just a 70s classic horror movie, a Wes Craven classic, and then just an all-time slasher classic for me. Love this one so friggin' much. Just nasty, dirty, gritty, raw, and unrelenting and brutal. You can definitely feel that it was somewhat influenced by Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. And definitely let me know what your favorite Wes Craven movie is, and let me know what your favorite 70s horror movie is. And the number 3 spot is My Bloody Valentine. A lot of these ones were remade, but the originals shine for me. And I feel like some of these ones should have more in their line, especially My Bloody Valentine. There should be sequels here. And The Miner is a horror slasher icon. Harry Warden, The Miner, and of course, a great Valentine's Day and holiday slasher movie right here. Definitely the best for Valentine's Day. But this is a great Canadian horror movie, and just, again, another really atmospheric one. The Miner coming back and, killing the townsfolk, and some great iconic kills in here. I remember for a long time, you couldn't find the unedited version, and they released it finally. And now there's been several different releases, but just a classic right here. Let me know what your favorite Canadian horror movie is, and let me know what your favorite 80s horror movie is. And on my number 2 spot is The House on Sorority Row. I love this one so freaking much. Another one that's had a remake. And then look at that. Oh, I love the climax to this. It's basically about girls in a sorority and the house mom not wanting them to have a party. And then there's a prank that goes horribly wrong. There's some tropes here for sure, but I feel like this one is just a really fun, entertaining ride. And then the way that it plays out is so awesome. Some great kills here, and just a super entertaining 80s slasher movie. And this poster is just so iconic to me. I actually have this poster. I want to get it framed. I love the heck out of that one. That was always drew my eye ever since I was a kid. So I love this one. And again, towards the end, the climax right there, so awesome. And my number 1 favorite slasher movie of all time is Tourist Trap, another great 70s one. This is directed by David Schmoller, who also directed the first Puppet Master movie. He's also done Crawl Space, some other really good ones. But this one is so uber creepy to me. This is one of those ones that really creeped me out a lot as a kid. You can see on the back, dolls and mannequins especially freak me out. This is a supernatural slasher movie. The slasher here has telekinetic powers. Chuck Connor's playing Mr. Slauson, and you got a bevy of beautiful babes in here, alliteration for you, including Tanya Roberts. And again, the mannequins, super freaky, and Chuck Connors was so awesome in this role. I absolutely love this one. It is another just weird, creepy one that will stay with you long after viewing. So a lot of these ones have to do with a group of friends that, get stranded somewhere and get, stalked and have to fight to survive. That's a running theme. And while a lot of these ones have some, typical cliches and tropes, I feel like they all stand out in this subgenre for slashers. And again, a lot of these ones earlier, 70s, early 80s. Latest one was 1982 here. And that's fitting because the 70s and 80s are my favorite decades for horror. Let me know what your favorite decade for horror is. So there you go. Those are my top 5 favorite slasher movies. And if you've seen any of them, definitely let me know what you think of them. And let me know what your top 5 favorite slasher movies are. Leave me those comments down below. And hope everyone's doing well. Take care.